Alright, like I said before, everything that you know about Counter-Strike, everything you've been playing is pretty much a waste, because if you didn't start playing 6 years ago, then you have, like, in theory, a person who just started today is 6 years behind. And the only way to get, or 7 years behind, I don't know how long the game's been playing. Back up, bitch. And so my point is, if you've been playing that long, how are you ever going to catch up to people like 3D, K-Sharp, Rambo, all those people? There's no real way. Like, how do you speed the process up? Well, number one, there's two parts to it. Number one, you have to understand the physics and the understanding of Counter-Strike and team play. And the second thing is you have to understand how to extract knowledge from demos and your own mistakes as fast as possible. Because if you don't understand why you were wrong, why you died, to say you get outshot is very rarely do I even get outshot, because I don't really get outshot. I get, like, I don't know how to say it. It just, when I get outshot, that's the only way. When I die, it's not because usually I get outpositioned, is the point. Counter-Strike, as far as Cal Invite Counter-Strike, top Counter-Strike, is all, don't jump, you're giving me a headache. It's all about positioning, and teamwork has nothing to do with aim. Like, everybody in Cal P has Cal Invite aim to a point. You know what I'm saying? The good players of it can have, and sometimes even better. And that's the example of teams that have grown up playing so stupid that they have to get good with their aim. So hopefully, Garrett, you were one of the guys with amazing aim, just really stupid. And if that's true, then I can add the smart part. The only point is, if you can come from, you either come from two different ways. You either come from an idiot with aim or a smart person with bad skill. Now, the reason why you're smart is because you have bad skill. The reason why you're an idiot with aim is because, well, why did you ever have to evolve to get smart if you just were so good at Counter-Strike you just headshot everyone you saw? Well, rarely, you know what I mean? So eventually, you'll have to blend in and add both. And that's what most Cal Invite players are, smart people with good aim. But when they play, Cal P teams or average teams, and they do happen to get out-aimed, like, that's where it happens. So, like a team with F2, you know what I mean, they can out-aim people pretty well, but they rarely do not have the ability to outsmart people, in theory. You know what I mean? Maybe they do, maybe they don't, in theory. So, now, what my point would be for you is, what I said is, you have to watch demos. I told you to watch demos, but you're not going to watch demos and learn much if you don't understand the physics and understand every little detail about Counter-Strike, what to look for, and note it. Because when you watch demos, like by my theory, a kid could just watch demos and get good, like real good, real fast. But it takes too long. Demos take a 45-minute period of Counter-Strike. So you know what I mean? Like 45 minutes of a time. Do I have to spend 45 minutes of my time to obtain 45 minutes of their time? No, because I'm never, I don't. It's hard to catch up that way. So what you would need to do is you would need, like I said, speed it up the way we speed everything up with the demo commands. You speed everything up. You basically, like, let's just say, did I ever tell you this? Like, if you play B on Dust 2, you would watch, like what I do, go download an entire tournament of Dust 2, meaning every good team on Dust 2, go watch each B player. Watch every every major gun round for him, and then watch it, and speed through, go to the next one. It should take you about 3 minutes to watch a CT side half with the major gun rounds. That's it, 3 to 4 minutes. And what I do is I'm going to talk about demos right now. I do a demo section where basically I go download demos 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I name them. Like, I drag them all I download them, they go to my desktop, I rename them 1 through 10, and I have a desktop C-Strike icon that goes straight to my C-Strike folder. I drag them all into my C-Strike, copying over the 1 through 10 that I had previously. Then I watch them all very, very, very fast, and extract the information and write it down on a piece of paper of what I want to save and what I want to have mentally, and I'll explain that later. And then I have it, and I just stole about 10 hours worth of work. I mean, kids like in Europe more than America spend so much time in servers and so much time figuring out their spots and so much time playing and figuring out what works and what doesn't. Well, I personally don't have time for that. I have college, everything, so a girlfriend, I don't have time for that. I have to just go watch them and them do it and them fuck up. And you're always behind. No matter what happens, you will always, always, always be behind the teams that have more time to figure out the new shit, that know these principles. The principles that I have yet to tell you about that have nothing to do with demo watching. They have basic Counter-Strike principles. And I can get to that in a little bit. But with their own principles, I wrote down a basic philosophy of Counter-Strike, about 10 strategies. And every map, I wrote down those strategies, and I went to the physics, you know what I mean? And that's how I made my Counter-Strike. And it pretty much, like, if I do one strategy on one map, it applies to the other map because it doesn't base off what we do. It's based off how it takes to them. That is the biggest thing I could tell you, the best thing I could ever tell you. It's what you have to, and this will solve your problems in life, too. So it's probably one of the most important things anyone will ever tell you in your entire life. It's to think from the other person's perspective, meaning what we don't want. What do we not want to have happen to us on Dust 2 middle/B? What fucking blows? Well, a 3-2B really sucks when I'm trying to op middle and I got a guy in B. It blows. It really sucks. I'm trying to shoot people that are being stupid running around, and they bank a flash off in middle and then throw another one, and I'm running away and they're running out and I'm getting one and getting pinched and I die. It's a bitch. Maybe I can no-scope a guy up here in this corner, but it's still a pain in the neck. So that would mean if I really didn't like that, boom, I write that down. And then guess what? Terrorist side, the moment I see an op in middle, it'd be a pretty good idea to 3-2B this bitch. Now that would be the strategy, okay? It's always about what we don't want. WWDW. There you go. And fucking think about everything that's bad for you, what you do, and I'll get more onto this, but that's how you have to think. Never, ever, ever, ever think, this is what I like. It doesn't matter what you like. It has to appeal. You just play, you're always a step ahead of them if you think what is gay to them. There's so many millions of strategies that come to your brain once you think of what is gay to you. So as a CT, as a terrorist, you go, what really sucks? What did they do that I don't like? And then you do that as CT, and you do that, and you avoid that as terrorists, and you take precaution. Everything about it is it opens your mind up so much more. So back on subject of the demos, I said that so right now after this conversation, you should download some demos, name them 1 through 10 on a map on a spot that you're playing. And you should drag them to your C-Strike folder, which you should have made an icon for, shortcut on your desktop, and you should watch them. And you should use Play Demo 1.1.3. You have it easy, because on GB, technically you won't be an in-game leader, but you can be, very much so. We really could use somebody to speak up. And that's the whole reason why you were recruited. Hold on one second.
Give it to me.
Okay, so basically, just saying, come out there. I like that spot. It's nice and light. It's all dark and shit. Might try some gay shit with me in the corner.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, my point was, if you watch all those demos, what I watch for is we're talking more about demos. I watch, like I said, and now, let me get in detail of exactly what I watch. If I was watching a demo, I would watch pistol round, where they go. But you have to understand what is a good pistol round and what's a bad pistol round. Let's just say this. Let's just say that the guy for pistol round was right here. Alright? And this is where he liked to sit. Okay? That's what he liked to do. And, okay, now that's this pistol round strategy, and they double stack on this box. And they're like, this is a really good strategy. And let's just say they rape these kids, okay? Now, that's all well and good, or let's just say they do this strategy and then the team goes to the other site. But you watch this pistol, or this is where they like to go for pistol round, or whatever, and this is where you sit at CT side. If you don't understand Counter-Strike, you don't understand why this is bad. But if they rape them, you're like, ooh, it's good, but it's not good. In theory, it's not good. You're going off theory, not luck, not aim, theory. And I will explain the Counter-Strike theories, and I should beforehand, but I'm doing it backwards, so whatever. Here's what I do so watch pistol round and see maybe what they do for how they do it and where the other team plays. So you hurry up, look an overview, see where everybody is, look where they're doing. What's pistol round? Good. If it's good, if it's actually fundamentally sound as far as an idea, see, there's 3 different pistol rounds I've come to know. There is your standard passive, let's just play pistol. There is another one where you gangbang people and you just all go one direction, and then with armor and shit, and you retake the other place. And then there's pretty much just a retake of a half of a site. One is Iron Man, Iron Fisted, don't come my way. Like, another one's like, I'll spot him and then we'll retake you. So it's kind of like that. So basically, if you understand that, then you understand what's good and what's bad. And anything else other than that is pretty much probably bad because, I don't know, what else is there that's good? You know what I mean? Maybe I don't know it yet. So anyway, on the second round, this is very important. Do you remember how Ted got dropped on that eco round versus Dead Zone? Every fucking time that you drop the bomb, they get bomb planted on pistol round, you should know as a CT that they can buy AKs like little faggots and then fucking come at you with full AK, and you know it. So when we know that, and we take according for that, we realize that and go, Dead Zone's coming. I mean, we forget about it because we just don't have it happen to us much, but we still take, you know, into account for it, whether we use our minds or not. You know what I mean? We get lazy, but we still share guns accordingly and drop guns and et cetera, et cetera. So basically, the theory would be, okay, I'm going to drop you a Colt, okay? Then when you drop me a Colt, I have a USP and armor, or not USP and like a nade and a kit or something, depending on what I kill. And then I get this gun, and so maybe like the bomb site B one would be like, I don't know. This guy, like, it could be like this. The good one would be like, I don't know, if you wanted to, a guy in the back of the site with a Colt or something. You know what I mean? And then a guy in, I don't know, ready to nade or something. You know what I mean? Something stupid. Like, or really good is, you know, just a guy in the window with the Colt and a guy with a USP at the doorway or something. You know what I mean? And that way, the Colt is always safe. Like, or no, Colt could be on the ground or something. You know what I mean? Like, the point is, the Colt's down, and if the guy dies, the other guy can just pick it up, and it's like they had a gun to begin with, full Colt head armor. So anyway, do you understand that though? Like, or it's not hard. So however, if you ever think of a good idea, don't ever think that you don't have a good idea, especially with the way your personality is. But there's 2 things that you need to do, and this is also a personal side note to help you blend in with our team. You can't blend in with GB unless you know everything that we do. There was one other in-game leader who I've had to play with who, what he did was, he always thought he was right, he always had a little good ideas, and basically I am very enthusiastic about blending in all ideas that you have that I feel are good. Because based off the Counter-Strike philosophies I have, if you can teach me new ones, then I'll add them into my, you know, my thinking. You know what I mean? But like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, and I'm fully open for it. But what you need to do right now is save everything, and then with you know, do your best to like, I don't know how to do this. Don't get impatient because I'm not doing your shit. You have to chill out, and like, if I don't take your ideas right away, because regardless of whether it's a good idea or not, it's not how we're used to playing yet. And we got a CPL, you know what I mean? Just things. Like, there are. So what you need to do is, I will respect everything that comes out of your mouth once you know everything that we do. Once you know everything we do, you can start commenting more. You know what I mean? But what happened is, people that come in that are opinionated start talking already like I care what they have to say, and I'm like, dude, you have no clue what we even do yet. Relax. Learn everything that we do. Then talk, you know? So that's what you would do if I was joining a team. I would need to learn everything they have and give them full respect. Now, let me just say the way I work with you. I have full respect for you as a player, but that still doesn't mean, like, just because you have the ability to, you know, to call and to help out communication-wise, doesn't mean that I want you causing Like I say let's go left, and you say no, let's go right, and I'm just like, you know what I mean? Don't like just understand your role, okay? And basically what it would be is like it's like productive helping. It's not negative. You do it like if I was in a pub with Rambo and Rambo said let's go A, and I said okay, I'll go Carpet Halls, and he said there's an offer in middle, and I'd say okay, I'm going to take middle fast, and he would say no, don't, and I'd say okay, no, I'll go Hall slow, or you know what I mean? Like you're allowed to talk, but you just have to look for it to be overridden. Everything you say is okay, but just I get to override it in the end. Is pretty much how it goes until a long time from now. But until you get such a good idea of what we're doing that you can just do whatever you want to do. And that's pretty much how hopefully it'll end up being. Now, here's what I can tell you about, let me think. Okay, back on track. With the demos, with the thing, in theory, you could be the best in bomb site B Dust 2 player or middle player. You could be the best middle player on Dust 2 in probably 1 week. Meaning, in the world, I'm saying. In the world, maybe 2 weeks. At most, maybe watching as many demos as you can every day of the week. It would take you about a week, week and a half. And you would have, and the reason why you would do it is, you write it all down. You write like, and it doesn't mean much. You just have to write like, okay, SK spot, or
I already do that.
You know what I mean? Okay, well you know what I mean though, right? So when you go to land, you just kind of refresh yourself, and there's no way that you could remember for 8 different maps, like 12 different spots for each map of each thing. That's like 90 things to remember, plus playing Counter-Strike. You know what I mean? You can't do it. So you have to write shit down sometimes. Okay, so if you already do it, that's wonderful. Now, what the next thing to do is when you find it, you know all about stealing their tricks and the flashes and everything. But so that's great. And so basically you just would need to watch demos on the spots that I ask you to watch, right? Like, but the thing is, we don't know what's going on with our team now, so we don't know which guy you'll be subbing in for on occasion or whatever, or who's if you're better than anyone, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going to happen, so I don't know where to tell you to watch demos. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. Okay, so the next thing would be about the Counter-Strike thing. You can watch demos all you want, but if you don't know what to look for, it's not going to fucking help you. So let me go over some few Counter-Strike things that I learned to look for. Let me just show you this. When I go to B and I throw a flash, if I throw a flash right here, and I'm just running, I just throw this CGS flash. Now that was a good one, but it wasn't that good, okay? And see that flash landed. See that flash is decent, okay? But let's just say that it went a little bit more to the left. In theory, just look. In theory is if I'm running like this, just rushing to B, like, let's just say it landed like a little more right here. Okay? Right here. Now if I'm rushing into B as a terrorist, well, what we don't want is to have a flash right in this imaginary lane right here. You know? So I don't want a flash landing in my face there. But if it lands anywhere else, I really don't care, because I can just stay to the left. So see this imaginary lane of Counter-Strike? You know what I mean? Running forward. Okay? Yeah. That's where you want the flashes to land. So anything other than that flash, and by that theory, where do you think the next flash should land for B? If it doesn't matter where you threw it. See if you can figure it out.
Say it one more time, say it again.
If you were going to set the second flash, where would it land in theory?
In theory, well, it would land a little more behind, because it'd be, by the time you throw your second flash, they'll be farther in the tunnel. Okay,
so where would it go? See, come on, Garrett, you can do this.
I know I can do this. Jesus Christ.
No,
you have an answer.
Here. No, further back. In theory.
Yeah.
In theory, it would be right there. No, in theory, it would be right where I just threw my nade.
The hell? Oh, you're talking about when they're actually in the site? Oh, I thought you meant
I'm just saying for the angles. I know it was a
because they're looking towards it.
In theory, you would want it as far back on the next angle as possible. You see? Yeah. Okay. As long as you get that.
Because by the time you throw a second flash, they're already so many feet ahead.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, though, you want to throw it to the length of the longest angle as far as possible. Then the next thing would be, if you understand that, You have to figure out where's the best place to throw your nade. Is it to get nading or is it to get sound? Well, if you nade over the wall, you have a really good idea of where they are a lot of times. By the way, it doesn't. If they're right here, sometimes it doesn't nade them. It's like retarded. I don't know. You'd have to test it, but it's weird. Like, let me sit here and you throw it over.
Over where?
Yeah, over the wall. Okay, it does. But one of these things it doesn't. It like doesn't hit like right. I don't know. It doesn't like hit like right. It's retarded.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry.
Okay, but my point is, so that would be a good idea for your nade there, because there's really no chance that people like. There's really no good angle for you to nade that people will be sitting there unless you get right where you're throwing it and then throw it in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a bit. So for your spot for B, the only good nade for you would be that. But my point is, you want to assess your flashbangs, where the first one goes to stop the rush. Counter-Strike is all about stopping the rush to CT. And then after you stop the rush, doesn't matter. But the thing is, Garrett, every time I go B, I go slow B, I know exactly where the guy is. Exactly where the guy is. Because I know where they throw their flashbangs. So if the flashbang landed, like, I don't know, I know where they land on weird angles. Like, I know where they land because I know where to throw them. When I throw them and they land here and I come into B, I'm like, okay, the guy's in the back of the site. Guys, get ready, let's smoke and go. Or the guy's outside of the site, he didn't come in, let's get ready to go, let's flash and go. And I know that because of the way the flashes land, and I can read them and go for it. So if you think about Counter-Strike and physics like that, you'll just, whatever. So it makes it a lot easier. The next thing would be, pay attention, okay, flashes, nades, pay attention to your smokes. There's a new thing that if you throw your smokes and they walk through it, it's amazing. Yay. So, and a lot of times you can do smokes for scaring things. If I was playing middle on duck, that my partner didn't go into B, and he just threw flashes, I would come here and maybe just throw, my smoke up there. And the reason why, just to cut off their vision, and then maybe I could get another guy to throw another smoke up there to scare them, because, whoa, I could just, how do they know I'm on dark tunnels?
Yeah.
If I possibly scared them by maybe just randomly throwing another flash up from right where you are and then running back to B, guess what? Chances are they'll throw something in dark tunnels, like a flash or something. You know what I mean? Because they're worried or something. And then I'm sitting in B like, all happy partner, just like, ha ha ha, they think I'm in there. And yes, like,
So basically waste time.
Yeah, waste time, trick them into using all their flashbangs, everything. So, like, all of that stuff you can do to, do your shit. So the next thing would be, where you want to have a smoke, I don't know, for some dumb shit, like, for clutch maybe, throw it on in front of you, and then, like, tap the defuse, and they get a little worried, because, some people spaz out, everything. So, after that, so if you have you have to also think of your bullet control, your spamming, your position giving away. Like, a lot of people spam for no reason, just because they're bored and ADD-ish, and it gives positioning away, and they get fucked over because of it. You also have to think of your rotation. A lot of people that like to just buy ops randomly and just play their spots with ops don't think of, they go, yeah, like of course, opping in the back of B makes your job so much easier, but if they go A, what are you going to kill? You know what I mean? Yeah, so my point is, you also have to think about your rotation more than you have to think about your spot. And if you ever get to the point where you're getting screwed over because you can't switch up your playstyle, because you don't op and they know it, so they take advantage of you, aka long A on Dust 2, they just start walking up because they know you're not opping it, and you just, you know what I mean? You have to use your teamwork or switch it up. You can switch it up, but your whole team has to adjust off of that. You know what I mean? If you're opping, it changes everyone's playstyle, not just yours. So it changes everyone else's rotation. So, you know what I mean? That shit has to be well noted, and that's why we just don't randomly op when we feel like it, because it changes so much of the game, that we don't know what's going on half the time if people just do that. So we don't allow it. We do it if it definitely needs, like, you need to do it because you're going to kill them if you change your playstyle up. You know what I mean? But a lot of times if we have an op, we just share it between people. Like, there would be nothing wrong if you were playing B and Ted had an op and he was doing shit at long A and they knew he had it. The basic theory with an AWP is if you have an AWP and they know it, you should trade it off or off a different spot of the map. Because the only reason why an AWP is good now with 32-bit smoke is if they don't know that you have it. If you have an AWP and they know it, consider yourself fucked from good teams because they're just going to smoke you out and flash you and you're never going to get a shot off unless you spam and if you get some amazing no-scope and you're still going down anyway. But chances are, and you could have done a better job with a Colt because if they thought you had an op and they executed early and you're a little closer with a Colt, it's a hell of a lot easier. Or if they run through you to the smoke and you have a Colt rather than an op, you're a better choice. You have a better plan of act. Yeah, you're better. So that's why. That's the theory. If they know you have an op, don't use it. Like, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So the next thing would be, so if about your playstyle and your rotation going to places, you need to know exactly. This is when you watch demos, you need to look for how people rotate more than how you watch your spot because you've played your spots a long time. You have pretty good and comfortable things for being a pretty good player, but you probably never really thought about how to rotate. And I mean everything. So if you haven't fully thought about exactly how to rotate, it's a total new sport. Think of it more important than anything else. Because let me tell you, you will be twice the player you are if you can hold your shit, but you're not important to go to the other way. You know what I mean? So it's like you really need to concentrate on watching demos like that. That's where you get a lot of experience. Now the next thing would be you as a player on this team, you're pretty much a go-getter, somebody that makes things happen. Now, on the same respect of that, you have to do that in sync with everyone else, okay? Because if you're not, then you're not doing, you're just like everybody else is just randomly pushing, okay? So that's something that you can find out more about. Sorry, I'm yawning. But I'm going to end this soon, but I'll teach you, basically, you have to figure out, like, you can't be always making things happen. You can make things happen with us at the same time, but you can't just, like, put it this way. You wouldn't want to go offensive on B and me go offensive on A on Inferno. Well, you would, but, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. You just can't, like, or else you're just, like, dead zone. You know what I mean? You're all over the place, like,
yeah.
You got to, like, pick your battles, as you know what I'm saying. And if we're both picking our battles at the same time all the time, we're not as strong as if we would if we just did one at a time. Sometimes. Now on Terracide it's totally different. But okay. Anyway, back on the subject. Okay, I'm going to talk about Counter-Strike fundamentals. And I know this is stupid, and I know you probably know this, but I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this really fast because I don't want to embarrass you to think that I think you don't know it.
Don't worry.
Okay, here we go. It's really simple. But the physics of an M4 is 5 bullets to kill somebody without a headshot, and it takes 4 bullets to shoot somebody with recoil. If you don't know what I mean, on the 5th bullet on this right here, there's no recoil on that whatsoever. The tapping, no recoil whatsoever. On the 5th bullet, it skyrockets like a motherfucker. It might as well be off the map. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, long distance, because you only really want to tap long distance. So you don't ever, like, what you would want to do is if you saw somebody long distance, in my opinion, is kind of like, you know what I mean, like the tapping.
I use that more as an AK.
Okay. Now, the AK, I just wanted you to know the actual physics of it. And by the way, the silenced cold is stronger up close than the unsilenced cold, but the this one is more powerful long range, and the other one's less powerful long range. Yes. So, technically, in theory, if you were going to go close range, use a silencer, and if not, use the unsilencer. And it's all on your basically preference, but check that into it.
Yeah.
So silence is basically, think about it as I don't know. It's really weird. Just stronger close range, weaker long range, and weaker close range. Yeah, Ted has a whole huge website about this, and
Here, let me just take 2 shots on you. Okay, stay still. Interesting.
Is it? Does it show it?
9 damage with silence and 7 without.
Really? There you go.
Yeah.
You didn't know that, did you? At least you learned something, maybe.
Fuck. Again 9. Oh, that was 8.
Okay, but it's still, trust me, you're too close.
Yeah.
You're close range. I'm just saying, trust me. It does make a difference. Now, what I was going to say is, okay, so basically, you can't ever tap, like, you don't, the biggest, remember I told you, this is the biggest thing of why I'm telling you this, what we don't want. You remember that? You can kill people any way you want, Garrett, but the point is, can they kill you? Well, look at your screen. See what I mean? You can't shoot anybody when that happens. You see what I'm talking about, though, Garrett?
Yeah.
So, Garrett? Yeah? No?
No.
So your body's shaking like crazy. No.
Yeah, I've always noticed that. When it sounds cold, it's like, it's a bitch long range. If someone's shooting you with it, you can't run away.
Yeah, well, no, I mean this. When I'm spraying at you, it's basically, it goes, it goes like this. If I was spraying, the next bullet goes like that, so I have to reel that one back in. So in theory, when I'm shooting at you, when I'm spraying at you, medium and long distance, it goes like this. It goes like this. Stand still. Hold on, you don't move. Like that's what you see on your screen. But watch on your screen right now. You're not able to shoot me, is the point. And that's why I'm saying it's a pretty big deal about tapping. So you can try it on your own with everything. I know you already do it. But just know that 3 bullets with an AK and 4 will kill somebody. 4 bullets with an AK, no body armor and everything. Just don't, like, all 4 body shots will kill him. 3 body shots are no recoil. The 4th one goes off the fucking charts. Of course, they had to make counter shit really difficult for us because if they didn't, anyway.